Hey everyone, welcome to, I guess you could say, this special Thanksgiving edition or pre-Thanksgiving edition. Mid-November, early December opinions, monthly opinions on the Sonic the Hedgehog comic book and the franchise. Well, folks, I'm still sticking true to my word. I have not yet opened my newest issue that I received in the mail, probably the quickest I've ever received it so far, and that is issue 231. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you that have read 231 already know what exactly is going on there. And to be honest, I know some fans are okay with it. You know, fans are like me, they're kind of in the middle, let it play out. There are fans that are overall overjoyed with it, and then there are some fans that are not happy with it. And especially with the fact that not only do you have the princess now roboticized and basically telling the main villain, your word is law, yes sir, and all that. But now you have sort of a teaser at the fact that the main villain, is giving you a teaser that as long as the princess is in this roboticized form, that he might change her name. So we might not have Mecha, Sally. We may have something else, but what could it be? Could it be Hyper Metal Sally? We don't know. Now, the other thing that occurred in this book, from what I've read, because like I said, even though I'm not going to do audio or video reviews of current issues, because I'm just going to wait until everything plays out and see where everything gets settled that's going to satisfy everybody, or sort of satisfy everybody. Another thing that has occurred here in this issue, which is really going to upset fans, maybe it probably won't be as long as Sally's situation, but apparently what has happened is Bunny is now on the injured reserve. Basically what happened is, well, I'm not going to give much away, but she's in a situation right now where the only things not injured or anything, but the things that are unaffected, if you will, not injured, are her arm and her head, but everything else is injured, if you know what I mean. And again, I don't want to give much away. You're going to have to find out about this yourself. Now, the thing is, when I read the summary, I said to myself, something just doesn't sit right here. We got two of the most popular female characters since the days of Sad AM, one against her will in a roboticized state, taking orders from the villain, another now on injured reserve, and you think to yourself, what is going on? And then, you know what? It hit me, folks. And this is just my opinion, but I think this is where they're leading. You see, there have been hints that a certain pink hedgehog is going to get a bigger role, or at least have a big role in an upcoming issue or so within the story arc. And then it got me thinking, we also got a certain red echidna making an appearance next month. We have a little focus on Big and Vanilla and Cream recently. And then it hit me. We're going into another era. And no, I'm not talking era as in, oh great, the comic's going to be mostly about the games now. No. An era basically by anniversary standpoints. Let me put it to you like this. Let me give you a clue, an idea of what I mean. Issue 75 dealt with the freedom fighters. Issue 100, it was okay, no big deal. 125 dealt with everybody. That's basically two big anniversary issues, 75 and 125, that dealt with the freedom fighters and everybody else defending freedom. 150, people want to forget that. 175, here's where the pattern starts to come in thanks to the current writer. 175, focused the main heroes of 175, who were they? Not just the freedom fighters, but who was the ones that freed everybody in the following issue? Who were the ones left standing? That's right. At the end of 175, going into 176, the ones left standing were the game characters. Now, take a look at issue 200. Main focus on everybody. Game characters and SatAM/comic exclusive characters. No big deal. Fighting for freedom. 225, same way, if you will. But then, we're getting up to 250 soon. And what does it look like the main focus is going on right now? The main focus is going on the game characters, folks. That's right. It's basically what it is. It's basically a pattern. It's a pattern, folks. That's what it is. Basically, well, it's not a pattern, but it's basically something that's like equal basis, I guess, in the eyes of Ian. I think this is why he was able to get away with what he was going to get away with what he did in the eyes of many. He basically has to make an anniversary issue, a big story arc, conclude and climax with the game characters, folks, not only getting the spotlight, but being the main heroes of said story arc at the climax of it. That's, in my opinion, is exactly what we're leading towards. That's why everything's taking place. It's to put focus on the game characters, and then, after everything's said and done, folks, go back to the normal routine. That's what it is. Okay. I know that sounds maybe far-fetched in the eyes of some, or maybe downright ridiculous. But you know what? It makes sense, folks. It makes a ton of sense. Because when you think about it, you know, we're in the 20th anniversary. We always know that the anniversary lasts another year or so. So what better way to make it last than to put the main focus on the game characters? I know some may not like that, and some will like that, and people like me are kind of like, hey, let's just see how it plays out, because we're in the middle. The truth is, folks, this is I mean, you just take a look at what it just makes sense. I mean, take a look at what I'm talking about. 75 was the Freedom Fighters. 100, an off issue. 125. Everybody was fighting for freedom, including the Freedom Fighters and the game characters and stuff like that. 150, off issue. 175, focused on the game characters as the main heroes in 176. 200, focused on everybody, game heroes, SatAM, comic exclusive characters fighting for freedom. 225, the same way. And now, I guess to even it out and give them more of an equal line, if you will, an equal line, and basically equality, basically put them on the same level. Put them on the same level, folks. You have the game characters becoming the heroes of this new continuity. Think about it. You've got Bunny on injured reserve. You got Sally in her state. I mean, it just makes sense. I know some people are like, oh, great. We're going to have to deal with about a year and a half of game-related stories. Whoop-de-freaking-do! But you know what? If it's going to be worth, let's say, a certain princess returning to normal and a certain rabbit being taken off injured reserve, then hey, it'll be all worth it. Now, another thing that's going on that I saw in the story, another thing that caught my eye in the summary, was that the grass was kind of red, kind of normal, if you will. It wasn't nanite corroded. And you got the question of wondering where Nicole is. You know, why hasn't she repaired the city? And then it hits you. What if? Now, I'm not saying it's totally true, and some of you may say I should get off this kick. But I think, in my opinion, my humble opinion as a fan, that she is somehow storyline-wise, and I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong in the past, but maybe she somehow integrated a part of herself into Sally. So that way, down the line, maybe with the use of herself and maybe any nanites she may be able to control, she can help Sally regain her free will. I mean, think about it. What if she's already doing that? What if she's already doing that and Sally's just playing along? Maybe Sally has to do what she did to Sonic and force Snively to do what Eggman asked him to do because she has to play along. And it's all because Nicole's probably communicating with her. What if? You see, we don't know. Now, I know, again, you're saying, that's not possible. No way it's possible. Well, guess what? It is possible, folks. It is possible. But again, like I said, I think that's a strong possibility. You got to consider it, folks. It's a strong possibility, and we can't rule it out. But again, like I said, in my opinion, what's happening here is we're going into another continuity-based story arc, which is going to focus on the game characters being the main heroes. So that way, I guess, in Ian's mind, it gives Sega what they want. It allows Sega to have the game characters getting the spotlight and having equal opportunity. So it's not always based, so that fans don't always base the comic off of being, a Sat AM a continuation of Sat AM and all that. It's basically a way for all the characters, game-wise, comic, exclusive, Sat AM exclusive, all to get equal opportunity. And I think that's why this is happening. Now, another thing I want to address before I end this is, there are some people out there, and I mentioned this in a video you'll probably see before this. I mentioned, well, not me, but there have been some people that have felt that Ian Flynn is going to be forced, possibly, if not be basically be told to or forced or whatever, to end the story arc sooner than he's going to want to end it. Now, some people have said that it's going to pop. Some people have stated that it could end between 238 and 240. Now, we're talking 12 issues to 10 issues away from 250, which would mean another year. Now, again, as I mentioned in the video, and I'll mention it here again, the only way that's going to happen is three ways. One, if Sega, the overall Sega Corporation, gets bombarded by letters stating fans' dissatisfaction with the current direction of the comic. Two, well, actually, it's two reasons, but two, the other way is if profits go down. Basically, sales and profits for the comic go down because, as I mentioned in that one video, both Archie Comics and Sega share a piece of the pie. And if Sega's not getting a good piece of that pie, then, it could be curtains. And, well, there is a third way this could end as well, is if, in some fans' eyes, if the certain head writer, Ian Flynn, gets replaced by somebody else. But, again, as I mentioned in the other video, and I'll mention here in my opinions, my monthly opinions, the only way that's going to happen is the two ways I mentioned. Overall dissatisfaction shown towards Sega for basically the direction that the comic's currently going in, or if sales and profits drop. That's the only way. And with the way that the comic sells, we don't know yet. We'll never know. And unless there's a sudden drop, we won't know. Now, to conclude my monthly opinions, I don't just talk about, as you know, about the comic book. I also talk about the franchise. And I have to say that Sonic Generations, to me,